We are hearing more now from a teenage girl who says her mother's former boyfriend molested her starting when she was just 5 years old.
47-year-old Jonathan Dubey is facing multiple counts of sex abuse and has been in the Lane County Jail since last week. KZI 9 News reporter Emma Withrow is live tonight in the studio to tell us what the teenager had to say in this exclusive interview. Emma?
That's right, Matt and Renee. We'll call the alleged victim. I spoke with Susan because she asked to remain anonymous. Susan said the abuse started when she was 5. And now 12 years later, she's still dealing with the trauma that Jonathan Dubey afflicted on her.
So when things that made me uncomfortable would happen and he would say, oh, this is just our secret, you don't need to tell your mom, things like that, I just kind of accepted it and would try to forget about it.
Susan said her mom and Jonathan moved in together, and that's when the abuse began, when Susan was in kindergarten.
Did he ever touch you inappropriately?
Yes. He definitely touched me in my genitals or on my chest, and he would ask me to touch him in inappropriate places.
Susan said she tried to tell a staff member at her after-school care, but the staff member contacted DHS and Jonathan Dubey. But Dubey allegedly threatened Susan by telling her that if she ever told anyone about their little game, she would never see her mom again.
It's so easy for people to turn their cheek to things like this and not believe the survivors that are trying to get justice for themselves.
Years later, when Susan was 13, she finally told her mom what Dubey had done to her.
He'd always say, oh, this is just our game, don't tell your mom.
They contacted Eugene police, but it took 4 more years to get Dubey arrested and charged because, according to Susan, the Eugene police had to reassign her case because a detective moved locations.
You know, there's a saying, boys will be boys, but I think it's much more important the boys are actually held accountable for their actions.
The Eugene Police Department said they won't be able to comment on the case until after the trial. As for Dubey, his bail is set at $1.3 million. But tomorrow he has a hearing in hopes of getting that reduced to $50,000, meaning he would only have to pay $5,000 to get out of jail for the time being. Reporting live in the studio, Emma Withrow, KEZI 9 News.